Adolf Hitler, born on April 20, 1889, in Braunau am Inn, Austria, was a German politician who became the infamous leader of the National Socialist German Workers' Party, commonly known as the Nazi Party. His rise to power and actions as the Chancellor and Führer of Germany during the 1930s and 1940s would leave a devastating impact on world history. Early life and background. Adolf Hitler was the fourth of 6 children in his family. His father, Alois Hitler, was a strict and authoritarian man who worked as a customs official, while his mother, Clara Hitler, was a caring and nurturing woman. Adolf's childhood was marked by frequent moves and financial instability, as the family struggled to find stability. As a young man, Hitler displayed artistic talent and briefly pursued a career as an artist. However, he was twice rejected from the Vienna Academy of Fine Arts, which dealt a severe blow to his ambitions. Struggling to make a living in Vienna, he developed strong nationalist and anti-Semitic views during this time, influenced by the city's political climate. Military service and radicalization. When World War I broke out in 1914, Hitler eagerly volunteered for the German army and served as a soldier during the war. He received various honors for his service and displayed courage, but the war's outcome deeply affected him. The German defeat and the signing of the Treaty of Versailles in 1919, which imposed harsh penalties on Germany, fueled Hitler's bitterness and anger towards the Weimar Republic and its political establishment. Rise to power. In 1919, Hitler joined the German Workers' Party, DAP, which would later evolve into the National Socialist German Workers' Party, NSDAP or Nazi Party. He quickly rose through the ranks of the party, using his charisma and powerful oratory skills to attract followers. Hitler's extreme nationalist and anti-Semitic rhetoric resonated with many Germans who were disillusioned with the post-war political and economic situation. In 1923, Hitler attempted to seize power through the Beer Hall Putsch, a failed coup d'état in Munich. The putsch resulted in his arrest, and he was sentenced to 5 years in prison. During his time in jail, he wrote his autobiographical manifesto, Mein Kampf, in which he outlined his political ideology, racial theories, and expansionist ambitions. The book became a foundational text for the Nazi movement. Political ascendancy. After his release from prison in 1924, Hitler focused on rebuilding the Nazi Party, which had been temporarily banned. Through skillful propaganda and relentless campaigning, the party gained popularity, particularly during the Great Depression when economic hardships hit Germany hard. In the 1932 elections, the Nazis became the largest party in the Reichstag but did not secure an overall majority. Chancellorship and dictatorship. In January 1933, Adolf Hitler was appointed Chancellor of Germany by President Paul von Hindenburg. Once in power, he moved swiftly to consolidate his control. Using emergency powers, he dissolved the Reichstag, suppressed opposition parties, and established a totalitarian regime. The Reichstag fire in February 1933 was exploited by the Nazis to demonize their political opponents further. In the subsequent March 1933 elections, the Nazis obtained a majority, and Hitler's government passed the Enabling Act, effectively granting him dictatorial powers. The road to World War II. With an iron grip on the German state, Hitler pursued an aggressive foreign policy, openly violating the Treaty of Versailles. He militarized the Rhineland, annexed Austria, and Sluis, in 1938, and demanded the Sudetenland from Czechoslovakia. These actions escalated tensions and set the stage for the outbreak of World War II. World War II and the Holocaust. In September 1939, Hitler's forces invaded Poland, leading to the declaration of war by Britain and France. World War II had begun. Hitler's military strategies initially brought success to Germany, with victories in several European countries. However, the tide turned against the Nazis after the failed invasion of the Soviet Union and the entry of the United States into the war. During the war, Hitler implemented his genocidal plan to annihilate European Jews and other minority groups in what became known as the Holocaust. 6 million Jews, along with millions of others, were systematically murdered in concentration and extermination camps. End of the regime and death. As the Allies closed in on Germany in 1945, Hitler's mental and physical health deteriorated. On April 30, 1945, With the Allied forces on the outskirts of Berlin, Hitler committed suicide in his underground bunker. He shot himself in the head while also taking poison. His longtime companion, Eva Braun, whom he married the day before, also committed suicide alongside him. The legacy of Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler's actions and policies led to the death and suffering of tens of millions of people during World War II. His ideology of racial superiority, anti-Semitism, and totalitarianism resulted in one of the darkest periods in human history. After Hitler's death, the Nazi regime collapsed, and Germany was occupied by the Allied powers. The Nuremberg trials held accountable many of the surviving Nazi leaders for their war crimes and crimes against humanity. Adolf Hitler remains one of the most reviled figures in history, and his name is synonymous with tyranny and hate. His rise to power serves as a stark warning about the dangers of unchecked authoritarianism, propaganda, and the consequences of bigotry and intolerance. It stands as a reminder of the importance of upholding democratic values, respecting human rights, and preventing the spread of extremist ideologies.